Welcome. How did you get in our airstream?
That's not important. What's important is that you're here.
Yeah, I'm looking for protection.
Well, not everybody's ready to start a family.
No, not like that.
Protection from gastric reflux?
No, I don't have acid
Extreme
reflux.
sporting injuries?
I'm not even doing extreme sports.
Concussions and broken bones?
Absolutely not.
All-day wetness and odor protection?
I can't believe you're going through
Harmful
the...
UV radiation?
I mean, everybody needs UV protection, but that's not what I'm here
No
for.
radiation for me, people.
What are you doing?
Protection from intergalactic threats. Protecting your online identity using a VPN.
I don't need a VPN.
Protecting your family for just pennies a day in case of an untimely death.
I just need a surge protector. Surge protector. I need a surge protector.
A surge protector? My specialty.
Yep, yeah, that's it. All set.
So, what would you like to know?
Okay. First, I want to know, are you going to do that again? And second, I want to know what the best RV surge protector is, so that when I go camping and I plug in at a campground, I know my RV is going to be safe from electric problems.
Well, I can help you with that. Now, surge protection isn't just for the campground. If you're going to be visiting friends or maybe plugging in your RV while you're at home, you're going to want to consider using something like a surge protector even when plugging into your friend's house using a 15 or 20 amp plug. It's always good to play on the safe side. Now, surge protectors in general are there to sacrifice themselves, or just a component of it, before a large surge of electricity hits your RV and destroys the electrical components on board. It's much less expensive to replace the surge protector, or even less, a part of a surge protector, than it is to replace the electronics in your RV. But surge protectors nowadays aren't just one-trick ponies. There are plenty of other things that modern-day surge protectors do that can be beneficial.
Alright, fair enough. I'm ready to learn a little bit.
The first surge protector that I have with me today is the SSP-50XL by Progressive Industries. Now, this thing is solid. It has, 1, surge protection up to 1,650 joules before this thing fries. 2, it has a series of LEDs on the front of it, green, blue, and red. The green is what indicates if your surge protection is active. So after you plug it into your campground service, you'll see that the green light turns on and you know you have surge protection. The blue and red indicate if the wiring is correct. If just the blue light turns on, your wiring is correct and you are good to go. If any other combination, such as just the red light turns on, there's a small list of what each combination of lights means. So I can look here and see that if blue is off and red is on, there's a reverse polarity, and that can be dangerous for my RV. So at that point, I would not plug in my main power cord, and I would talk to the campground maintenance crew to be able to get that fixed. Other things that I do like, I like having the weather guard. That makes me feel safe, and there's a little spot for your cable to come out the bottom here. I also like the fact that it has a locking bracket, so you can put a padlock or some kind of bike lock on it so people don't steal it. And I like the fact that the price is really good for a nice introductory surge protector. Now, a couple things that I don't love. I didn't like that the weather guard came separate from the surge protector itself. I figured that could have came together, but as long as you have a really small screwdriver and you can screw in these tiny little screws, that's really not a big deal. This unit also is one that is fully self-sacrificing, so if you did have a surge, you need to throw this entire thing away and go buy a new one. I find that to be a little wasteful, so that would be another negative for me. The last thing that I don't love, only because I know there are other options out there, is that this surge protector, if you want to double check that your wiring is correct, you have to go outside, you have to check by looking at those little LEDs, decipher the code, and there's no protection for high or low voltage. All in all, this gets a rating good. It definitely gets you going. It is something that will protect your rig from a large surge of electricity and is perfectly fine. When it comes to price, this at your local RV supply store will probably run around $150. The 30 amp version, this is the 50, the 30 amp version runs about $125. Now, if you go on Amazon, especially if you have a Prime membership, these run somewhere around $129 for the 50 amp and then $105 for the 30 amp. So you save about $20 by going on Amazon, and if you have free shipping, even better. Now, Progressive Industries does not sell these directly on their website, so you cannot buy directly from them.
Okay, that's all I need, right? There isn't much more to have from a surge protector, is there?
Well, there shouldn't be that much more that you really need from a surge protector, but there are plenty of niceties in the other two surge protectors that I want to mention that might be worth paying for. So just give me a second and I want to show you what those look like.
Alright, that sounds fine, but if you got other things that you can show me, then I guess I'm here.
This is the Power Watchdog by Hughes Autoformers. No, it is not a true autoformer. It does not adjust the voltage of the electricity coming into your RV, which can be against the rules at most campgrounds. So, Hughes Autoformers is the name of the company that produces these surge protectors, but it is not an autoformer itself. I see a lot of confusion about that online, so set the record straight. This thing is quite the surge protector. Now, it does everything that we were talking about before. It protects from all sorts of different adverse conditions, open grounds, open neutrals, reverse polarity, and right here, there are little LEDs and indicators, just like on the other one, that show what combination of lights means a combination of problems that's listed here on the front. I like this because I think it's a little bit more clear, and for a 50 amp model, you're going to have two different leads. This can identify problems with one lead versus another. So, when it comes to surge protector protection, this has up to 4,800 joules of protection, which is 3 times the amount of the Progressive Industries model. Another thing I really like about the Hughes Autoformers surge protectors are that if there is a surge, you don't have to throw this entire thing away. Instead, there's a small surge module inside of this unit that's replaceable with just a Phillips head screwdriver, and that gives new life to your surge protector. Now, on the 30 amp version, the replacement part is only $21, and on the 50 amp version, the replacement part is $32. That is a heck of a lot less expensive than replacing an entire $150 surge protector. It also produces a whole lot less waste for the planet, and I can get behind that.
Okay, that sounds like a good deal if you go through a surge, but chances are we're not going to go through that, right?
Yeah, well, there's one more aspect to this surge protector that made me like it a heck of a lot more than the last. And that's Bluetooth.
Bluetooth?
Oh yeah, this baby has Bluetooth. It has a free app that you can download both for Android and for iOS that allows you to connect wirelessly to the surge protector itself. Now, this does a couple of things. One, if there is an error, instead of having to go outside and decipher the code of which lights are on and which lights are off, it will tell you what the error code is inside the app. Also, while you are looking at the app, it's going to show you the number of amps, the number of volts coming into your unit, and that means it can protect you against high and low voltage, both of which can be dangerous to your RV.
Alright, that sounds kind of cool. I like the idea of being able to keep track of how much energy I'm using. Does that mean, let's say I was watching the app, and I turned on my air conditioning unit, would I be able to see the change in electricity or the number of amps that my air conditioner uses when I start it up?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
This surge protector gets our rating of better. The reason is threefold. One, it protects against high and low voltage and lets us know if there's going to be a problem. Two, has Bluetooth connection so I don't have to run outside just to double check that my wiring is doing okay. 3, it will also have a reduction of waste on this planet and save you money in your pocket if there ever is a surge by having that replaceable surge module. The combination is pretty sweet. Now the price. It's not a crazy jump from what we were talking about before with Progressive Industries. The jump will be to $177 for the 50 amp model or $112 for the 30 amp model, and both of these can be found on the Hughes Autoformer website itself. Now the prices on Amazon are pretty similar, so us personally, we try and buy directly from the source because I know there are tons of fees when trying to sell on Amazon, and I really like the product, so I want to support the group that's making them. Now, here's where I get to give you a little extra good news, and I want a few points of clarification. 1, we purchased all 3 of these surge protectors ourselves to be able to make this video. I've been given nothing, I've not been paid to say anything. It is just what it is. This is what I think, and I have had some really good experiences with these Hughes Autoformers versions, so I get to say what I want. But I reached out to Hughes Autoformers, and they have given us a discount code, which is going to be down in the description below. That will give you 10% off anything that you order off of their website. I talked about supporting the business itself. You'll be able to do that, and you'll get a better price than pretty much anything you're going to find out there. Done. I don't even think I need to hear about the next one. It involves a bulldog. I'm listening. This is our final and my favorite surge protector. It is also made by Hughes Autoformers, and this is the Power Watchdog 50 with EPO. What does EPO stand for? Very good question. EPO stands for Emergency Power Off. But before I get to that, I want to talk about a couple differences between this and the previous Hughes Autoformer surge protector. Now, most of it is the same. It still has the ability to detect open neutrals, open grounds, reverse polarity, high and low voltage. It has the Bluetooth connection to that snazzy app to be able to look at your voltage, your amperage, and it will communicate any of the errors it encounters over to that application. Now, unlike the other version that has a series of LEDs on the front, this will have a small display in the corner. It will pop up with an E and a number representing a certain error code, and those are all written over here on the side. So what makes this so much better? Why is this going to be the best of the good, better, best rating? Well, it's because whenever this detects any of those problems, high, low voltage, open ground, open neutral, you name it, this is going to turn itself off. It will stop the electricity from flowing from the pedestal that has the issue to your RV, and that is going to protect your equipment. That's pretty awesome. This also has that replaceable surge module that has the 4800 joule protection, which is 3 times the first one that we talked about, yada yada yada. But that automatic power off is really awesome. So what will happen, let's say there is an issue. This bulldog on the front, he will go from white and he will turn bright red. That's how you really know there's a problem. You got a red bulldog on the front of this. The error code pops up here. Your app is going to get some level of notification telling you that there's a problem and that the electricity has been shut off to your rig, and then you have the opportunity to get it all fixed. I am in love with this. It was a little bit more expensive than what we originally planned on paying for a surge protector, but let's put a scenario out there. You're getting set up. It's late in the afternoon, you just get to your campsite, things aren't running exactly like you planned. You hop out after you've found where you're going to park, you chalk your wheels, and as soon as your wheels are chalked, you're on a mission. You want to get that electricity and that water hooked up because it's almost dinner time, everyone's getting hungry, and it's just a recipe for disaster. So let's say you don't have this. You plug your surge protector in, and without double checking, you don't see that there is an open neutral, open ground. You then plug your RV in to that surge protector that has detected that. That's still going to allow electricity to flow. That's still allowing that negative condition, that problem with the wiring of that pedestal, to flow over to your RV. Now, will this guarantee some huge problem? No, but could there be? Is it something that could be potentially dangerous? Yeah, and will that ruin your camping trip? Absolutely. Instead, you get one of these bad boys, the thing turns red, shuts the power off, you all of a sudden notice that you can't turn on your air conditioner, and then you're able to address the problem without having that potential for disaster. You know, I talked about it in the Chocks video, but when it comes to peace of mind, that's what I'm paying for when I buy something like this. If I invest the money in something that's going to last me a very long time, so that I can be confident when I'm camping and not have to have another checklist to go through, that's going to be a win for me. Alright, done and done. I want that one. I want the one with the EPO, because I know when I'm setting up camp and we're near dinner time, I'm going to get distracted, and all of a sudden, I'm not going to notice that something has gone wrong. I want the peace of mind, take out the human error. Yeah, and that's why we save this for last, and it gets the rating of best. Even with an increased price point, this is going to be less expensive than replacing a refrigerator, a microwave, or an AC unit. It's also going to be much easier to deal with on a camping trip. If you fry an AC unit, you ruined your trip. If this detects it and blocks it in the first place, then you just have to deal with getting campground maintenance to be able to fix it. All in all, a really good experience in comparison to what could happen. Now, when it comes to price point, I mentioned it's higher, and it is. The 50 amp unit costs $293, while the 30 amp unit is $236. Now, I mentioned before that we do have a discount code, 10% off on the Hughes Auto Former website, so that will take that $296 and bring it down towards $260, and that will take that $236 and bring that closer down towards $210. Yeah, it's still going to be more expensive, but I think the peace of mind that you gain through something like this, as well as all the added benefits through the Bluetooth connection and being able to monitor everything that's going on when it comes to the electricity coming into your RV, is totally worth the price. Also, the fact that if something was to ever happen to this with a power surge, you just replace that same surge protector module that I mentioned on the previous model. $30, you're back up and running. You don't need to buy a brand new $290 surge protector. So, check out the discount code down in the description below. You can purchase this off the Hughes Auto Former website. I'm linking those in the description below as well. And I mean, these are also available on Amazon, but you're going to end up saving a bunch of money if you use the discount code because their prices are competitive. That's a ticket. A wise choice.
And in that moment I knew I had to use the surge protector that was bestowed upon me to protect my RV, to protect my camping experience, and to become one with the surge.